So you've just downloaded Diablo Immortal, or you're thinking about downloading and you're wondering, what do you do in the beginning of the game? What are the decisions you have to make, and what's the best way to succeed and to progress through the game effectively? So today, I'm taking you through those beginner steps, the initial stages of Diablo Immortal. What is up, my friends? My name is Echo and welcome to Diablo Immortal. I'm excited that you guys are joining the journey and playing such an amazing action RPG with me today. When you first download the game, you're gonna need to decide which of the different types of characters that you're gonna wanna play. Today, we're starting out with 4 different characters being in the alpha. Remember, when this comes out for full release, there are going to be 6 different options, but which ones should you choose? First, you're going to have to decide if you want to play as a ranged character or if you want to play as a melee, up in your face, beat them down, tanky kind of character. I've played as all 4 characters in the alpha. I played the wizard, the demon hunter, the monk, and I played the barbarian. For me, my favorite out of these 4 in the alpha phase was the barbarian, but I like getting up into the battle right on top of my enemies and beating them down. Maybe you're not that kind of player. Maybe you'd rather stay back, shoot from afar, strafe around, and get behind your tanks, having that long-ranged battle. So if you are someone that likes to get into the battle and fight right up in the face, you're gonna wanna choose the monk, who's a little bit faster than the barbarian and jumps around off the walls and things, or the barbarian, who's gonna be brute force and power. If you wanna stay back, shoot from range, you're gonna choose something like the demon hunter or like the wizard, because they're a little bit more of a glass cannon. They're powerful, but they can't take as much damage, so you have to go from afar. But then you have to decide what character model you like, right? Are you gonna go with a male, or are you going to go with a female character? They each have their own design, they have their own look. For me, I go with whichever one I feel looks best. So my favorite character in the game, the one that I loved playing the most, was the barbarian and the female barbarian. But for here, we're choosing the demon hunter, and then you could choose, after you choose the sex of the character, you choose whether you want them to look like this or like that. Choose your name, and then you're good to go. If you guys haven't already subscribed to the channel, if you love Diablo Immortal, if you're excited for this kind of stuff, make sure you sub and ring the bell, because we have daily Diablo Immortal videos for you right here. And not only that, we're live streaming over on Twitch. That's going to be linked down below in the pinned comment and in the description. You should come through and join the community. Maybe one day we could play together, maybe even get you in a video. So your boat is finally pulling up to the pier and you are entering the world of Diablo Immortal. You've waited so long, you can't wait for it. You are right now looking at the initial stage, the initial footage, step 1 inside of the game. You're gonna grab your controls and figure out how this game is played. I have to let you know that the game has a pretty nice tutorial, just kind of taking you into the battles, leading you along the way, teaching you how controls work. But they're pretty standard. You're not gonna have to worry too much. I mean, this is it. It's literally happening in front of you, the stages that I went through. And I went through these stages 4 different times. But you wonder, where do you go inside of the game? And the cool thing is, footsteps will guide you, which you could turn off along the way if you don't want to deal with them. You're going to start out with your primary attack, which is that large attack button you're seeing right next to me here. But as the game goes on, and you're going to see more of these be equipped over time, you're going to get different special attacks, which can be added and moved around and changed later in the game. Those are called your skills. As you can see, one was just unlocked, and these are going to be rechargeable attack type methods. And again, there's going to be 10 to 12 upon release of the game. There were 10 in the alpha. You could customize which ones you want to use, which go where. A great thing about the game is, as you progress through the game, as you get higher and higher in level, your skills upgrade automatically, so you don't have to choose which skills you want to upgrade and which ones you want to leave behind. You're never going to be saying, oh, I should play this skill because it's stronger and I've played with it and upgraded it more, because they all upgrade together. Skills synergize well together with many of the characters as well. So if you do this skill and that skill, you'll get a special effect. And all skills are going to be, and attacks too, they're all going to be changeable, modifiable. They can be better, worse, or more fitting to your playstyle based on gear that you pick up inside of the game, as well as gems that you put inside of the sockets inside of your gear. Whew, now this game has some depth. There's a lot to Diablo Immortal, which is why the initial phase kind of takes you through it. There's a lot to learn. I've probably put in the 3-week period that I had the alpha, I've probably put in 80 to 100 hours of gameplay across 4 characters. 3 of the 4 I've gotten to max level, which in the alpha was level 45. Upon release of the game, we're going to be looking at a level 60 as a max character. And again, there's going to be 6.
I will kill you.
So what do you need to do? What are you actually doing inside of Diablo Immortal? Well, you are going through a campaign in the initial phases, going through the stages. You're going to be meeting up with people. They're going to be giving you quests. You're going to be accepting those quests, finishing them, earning rewards. Rewards that look like gear, that look like gems, that look like loot, and that look like experience. And you're about to see an experience upgrade happen right here. There we go. We are up to level 2. The experience bar is on the very bottom of the screen. You could see it in yellow, slowly creeping itself around the screen. Now notice we can tap the inventory, which is that satchel on the top right, and that satchel on the top is where you hold all of your gear. You could switch in and out. You see it right here. I'm going to equip my first piece of equipment, my bow, as my level 2 demon hunter. How green we look, and by that I mean we're like a baby demon hunter, brand new. And this is what you're going to look like when you first get the game too. Notice you have all the different components on the right where I'm hovering now. That's your main primary gear, and your secondary gear is over on the left. You put your legendary gems into the primary gear slots, and you put the regular gems into the secondary gear slots. And of course, your settings are all there. The main thing you want to do is right here. Auto pick up items. Click on all of them. You don't want to miss out on any gear along the way. You want to pick up everything. So maybe you know Diablo. Maybe you played Diablo 3 and you're like, well, Echo, when can I do rifts? When can I do dungeons? When can I get into the end game portions of the game? And in Diablo Immortal, it's a bit different than Diablo 3, but I do recognize that a lot of people here right now, you're not Diablo players at all. Maybe you're mobile players and never played a Diablo game. Maybe you've played action RPGs on mobile, but never Diablo Immortal or a Diablo-like game, because there is no game like Diablo on mobile. There's nothing like it. Or maybe you've actually never played an action RPG and this is your first. In Diablo Immortal, you need to get near level 20. When you get near level 20, you're then going to be able to unlock an area, your town. It's called Westmarch, where you can do all of these events. And we spoke briefly on skills. These are your skills. They can be unlocked as you progress, and then they can be swapped around from one spot to the other, making it custom to your play style, using the skills that you want to use, that you like the most inside of the game, or that you have gear that's going to actually help. So sometimes you'll get gear that'll strengthen one of your skills. So you may want to use that skill, equip it inside of the game. I'm realizing as I'm talking that there is so much to talk about inside of this, that this may need to be broken into multiple videos, but I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on filling you in on this stuff. So you're progressing through the game, through a open world campaign style thing, going against these enemies as you're seeing right here, completing quests, upgrading your character. In this case, it's the Demon Hunter, until you get to that level 20 area where you can unlock Westmarch, which is your home city, where you can go then and see the Blacksmith to sell gear, to buy gear, where you're going to be able to forge gear, where you're going to be able to put gems inside of gear, where you're going to be able to do rifts, the bounty board, which is basically going to be 12 daily quests, which are going to give you a ton of rewards. Because again, Diablo and many action RPGs are a grind of a game. You really want to just get in there and get the best gears and put together the best hero that you can so you could dominate against everyone. And by everyone, I don't just mean the campaign. I don't just mean the rifts or the dungeons, because Diablo Immortal, we saw a hint of it in the alpha. It's going to have PvP. Player versus player, you playing against someone else that you encounter. And that's exciting. So to build up for those events, for playing against actual people and not playing against the E, the environment, player versus environment, you're going to want to get some amazing gear. And to do that, you have to play the game. To get weapons, to get gear, to get gems, you have to play the game. You can't just pay for stuff and get it. You have to actually find it in the world that you're encountering and that we're encountering right now. Along the way during the game, there's going to be gear dropping for you to pick up, and you have normal gear and you have really good gear. You're going to want to pick up all of the gear, because when you pick up all of the gear, you could salvage that gear, which means basically trash it at the blacksmith. And for trashing it, you're getting elements that you can use, basically pieces of scrap that you can use to upgrade the weapons that you want to upgrade. And another amazing thing, your primary weapon, let's say we upgraded to level 5 and you realize, I just picked up a better weapon. Now I gotta lose that weapon and start upgrading all over again.
Nope.
No, you don't, because you could transfer for free your rank of the old weapon onto the new weapon. So if I have a level 5 bow and it's good, but then I get a better bow, level 1, but it's a better bow with better stats, I can just take it and put it in the place and it'll say transfer rank and I say yes. And then that new bow is instantly level 5. So Diablo Immortal and Blizzard did a really nice job in taking out unnecessary grind, or grind that hurts. When you spend a ton of time maxing out a weapon in a game and then you don't want to use it anymore and you have to redo that grind, that hurts. It's not fun. At least for me, it's not. So they took that element out of this game. But you're probably asking yourself, Echo, does this game have the element where it will play for you, where I could sit back and let the game grind for me? Is it gonna do auto battle? The answer is 100% no. There is no auto battle in Diablo Immortal whatsoever. The only auto element in the game is pathing. When you get inside of Diablo Immortal, as you kind of beat different stages and beat different levels, you can then auto path back to those levels to do other quests. And to do that, you would open up the map, you would point where you want to go, teleport there, and your character will go there automatically. If it's a little bit of a jog, it can jog there on its own. You could take over at any point in time, but it will not battle for you. When you get to where you're going, you will stand there. And if you're being attacked, then you get attacked, because it's not gonna make one attack for you inside of Diablo Immortal. You're gonna have to fight on your own, which I love. I hate games that are gonna grind for you. Or I shouldn't say that. That's not what I want my main game that I spend my days playing to be like. Do I like those games? Yeah, they're good to play on the side, and that's cool too, but that's not what I want Diablo Immortal to be. I want Diablo Immortal to be the game that I'm spending 4 hours a day playing, 5 hours a day playing, or like Leviathan, 12 hours a day playing. The guy is a monster. So I want this to be just like a PC or console gaming experience, which it is. Now I know sometimes you get a new game, you open it up and you're saying, oh my goodness, this is overwhelming. There's a lot going on. There is a lot going on in Diablo Immortal. There is a lot to learn, but that is depth in a game. A game that is shallow and that doesn't have a lot of stuff to it, you get bored of, or you outgrow it. And we're actually visiting the first blacksmith right now, where you can see I'm interacting for the first time. This was actually when I first started playing the game. So you're watching the first 20 minutes of me playing right here, where I was learning like you're learning right now. That's why I thought this footage was actually appropriate for this video. So I want you to embrace the depth of Diablo Immortal. Look at Diablo Immortal and say, wow, this game is incredible. It's a vast open world, because yes, while you're fighting other people on the server, and mind you, there are tens of thousands of people on a server, they can join you and help you in your battles. You can't attack one another unless if you're in the PvP mode, which is great. You can't hurt one another, but you could go around and just play with other people because they want to help you, which is amazing. And right now we're actually in one of the little towns where we have some of our people that we can interact with, engage with, but let's get into some battles that's better for viewing. And not only can you just randomly run into people inside of the game, but there is a full friend mode inside of the game. You could text chat, voice chat with the world. You can do it with your teammates, your guild mates, or people that you party up with. It really is unparalleled by any other experience, any other social experience in the game on mobile that I've ever seen before. It's done perfectly. You can really engage with other people. Blizzard really wants this to be a social game, and they've put everything in place, every type of a chat system needed to make that successful. So you playing with friends in a guild which holds up to 150 people, at least at this point in time, well, that's incredible. And you could put multiple accounts in there as well, because you're going to have different characters that you want to play, because maybe you just don't want to be the demon hunter. Maybe you want to be a barbarian too. I recommend it. So the game has great direction. As you can see, the footprints are on the ground. My selection of the quests that I'm going to be doing and things that I want to engage in the game are on the left side of the screen, right underneath my character model. And on the right side of the screen are the other menus, which I can go through at any point in time, as well as the map. So if I want the footsteps to go away, I could click on the quest and those footsteps will go away, and I could feel free to roam around wherever I want, and I encourage it. Because inside of Diablo Immortal, there are pop-up events, there are secret hidden dungeons, and all things that are not even part of your quest that you can engage in for fun and massive rewards along the way as well. So the game is really built for you to get yourself to level 20 before you unlock some of the deeper in-game stuff. How long does it take to get to level 20? If you're just playing casually, if you're not going crazy, you could probably get to level 20 in about an hour or an hour and a half. I suggest you take your time. This is how you're going to be learning the game. This is the roots of the game. You're learning how to do everything. You're learning how the mechanics of the game work, so don't rush. And here we go, using my super right here. As you notice, that did pop up on the screen. As you see, the attack button has that green bar around it. When that fills up, you can then use your super, which lasts for about 20 seconds. I don't know the exact time. And then it needs to be recharged. You recharge your super by attacking enemies, and it will slowly increase over time. And then you start beating people, like we just beat her. So some of the best tips I can give you are: take your time, push yourself through the campaign, enjoy the game, engage in the storyline, and really learn what Diablo is all about, because this is a story that sits between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 that many people have been waiting for a long time. You're going to learn about the World Stone, and you're going to want to know how it plays into Diablo. Then once you get to level 20, you can then unlock the other stages of the game and begin enjoying them and get more into the end game. But give the game an hour. It's free to play. Download it for free, test it out, and see if you like it. And I guarantee you, if you like action RPGs, there is zero chance that you will say that you don't enjoy this game. It is by a mile the best action RPG on mobile, and even better than many that are on PC or console. I will tell you this, guys, that the game is in alpha, and it's better than any game I've ever played on mobile devices. And no, I'm not just saying that because I have a Diablo Immortal channel. I have a Diablo Immortal channel because I feel this way about the game. Completely in love with the game. Well, I hope that this guide today helped you out and helps you understand what to expect when you do unlock the game, when you finally can download it, which as of right now, we don't have an actual date. I know, sad times. But within this 10-15 minute video, we've already ranked ourselves up to level 9. So we're really halfway through the progression. Obviously, it gets more difficult and takes longer as time goes on. Make that level 10. So I'm going to have more guides, more in-depth guides, and more beginner guides breaking down different elements of the game that we may not have touched on inside of this video. If you love Diablo Immortal or love the idea of it and want to learn more, make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring the bell, because I have videos every day. In addition, again, we are live streaming on Twitch, so that's going to be the pinned comment. But I also have a Discord server. And if you're here at this point in the video, you're someone that should probably join the server, where we have a community of people talking about Diablo Immortal, building up friendships so we can play together inside of the game. Because when the game comes out, when I can make myself a guild, I'll be making one and you guys can join. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you check out some of my others before you go, and make sure you leave a comment so I know you love me. Take care, guys, and be good.